Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and I hope you all are doing great. Today on the menu we'll be making peanut soup, groundnut soup or mianjeda. There are lots of ways of making peanut soup, but today I'll be sharing my own version of making peanut soup, and this version I'm sharing today can be eaten with just the Nigerian swallows. I have my way of making my peanut stew, which you can use to eat your white boiled rice, white boiled yam or boiled plantain. The recipe will be coming up very soon, so stay tuned. If you're interested to see how I made this, just keep on watching and don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. So without wasting much of your time, let me introduce you to the ingredients and let's get started. Alright guys, so here are my list of ingredients for this recipe, and for my protein of choice I'm using lamb. You can also use goat meat for this recipe. I highly recommend lamb or goat meat because of the flavor it gives. Yeah, so I got this lamb from the meat shop over here and it usually comes the-skinned. You can get goat meat with the skin on in the Afro store, but because of the lockdown issue, there is no goat meat anywhere. You can feel free to use any protein of your choice, but for me, lamb or goat meat is the perfect protein for peanut soup. In addition to the lamb, I'll also be using some cow skin, and this very part I have here is from the head. I always like to buy this part because it is very fleshy. Yeah, fleshy. So it has a little bit of flesh in it, but you can feel free to use any part of cow skin you prefer. Okay guys, so next with me here I've got my homemade smoked mackerel fish. For me, each swallow has to go down with a tiny bit of fish. You can use dry fish if you prefer, but I personally prefer smoked mackerel fish for that smoky taste. In here I have some blended crayfish and ehu seeds. My ehu seeds already came cracked and this is what they look like. So what I have in here is some blended crayfish and 5 cracked ehu seeds. Yeah, so in addition to this, you also need to blend in some okpehe in here. I totally forgot to blend in my okpehe when I was blending the crayfish and the ehu seeds, but I'll be adding that to the soup, which you will see later. Here comes the star of the dish, and in here I've got 2 cups of my homemade roasted and blended peanuts. As you can see, I'm not using the store-bought peanut butter because they are full of preservatives and additives, and I didn't blend mine into, a smooth paste because I like mine looking like egusi. Yeah, so this is how I like mine. Here is a clip of when I was toasting the peanuts. What I have here is 4 cups of peanuts. I'll be using 2 cups for the soup and 2 cups for my peanut stew. Now, if you want to see my recipe on how to make peanut stew, be sure to give this video a big like because your likes on this video will motivate me to upload my peanut stew very soon. So this is just a clip of when I was blending the peanuts. So here I've got some freshly washed frozen bitter leaves, which I have defrosted, rinsed and squeezed out the water. The bitter leaf is not bitter at all. I'll be using half of it. And this is what the pack looks like. I got this from the African store. Fresh ndole, chopped bitter leaves. In here I've got 1 big red bell pepper. You can also use tatashe. I've got 1 big tomato plum. I've got 1 orange habanero pepper. This habanero pepper here is so spicy. It is so flavorful. Like it is of the same family with the yellow habanero pepper, also known as Cameroon pepper. I've got 4 garlic cloves and 1 medium-sized onion. In as much as peanuts already contains oil, we are still going to be adding a little bit of palm oil to give it that local soup taste, if you get what I mean. And we are going to be adding this much, 1/3 cup of palm oil to be precise. Here I've got 2 types of seasoning cubes. I'm using beef seasoning and shrimp seasoning. I'll be using the beef seasoning to cook the lamb, and I'll be adding the shrimp seasoning to the soup. You don't have to combine the both. Feel free to use any seasoning cube of your choice. Lastly, I've got some salt to taste. So now that you've seen all the ingredients, let's get cooking. Okay guys, so here I have my lamb and cow skin transferred to the pot. The onion I showed earlier, I have finely chopped half of it. So to that, I'll be adding in my finely chopped onion. Next, I'll break in my pair of seasoning cubes. This thing is just so hard to break, and I'm used to breaking in my seasoning cube because I'm not a fan of just throwing in my seasoning cube inside the pot. Mba, mmadụ emeta Maggi here one day. Next, I'm adding some salt to taste, and I won't be adding water at this point. I'm just going to give it a stir, cover and allow to cook down on a medium heat for at least 10 good minutes. So while the meat is cooking, I'm just going to quickly come over here and blend up my pepper mixture. To my blender, I'll be adding in a little bit of water to help the blending process. Next, I'll cut up my bell pepper. Once that process is completed, next I'll deskin and debone my smoked mackerel fish. Alright guys, back to the pot. So the meat has been steaming on a low heat for 10 minutes now, and as you can see, it has released its own water. So this is the perfect time to add in water. So at this point, I'll be adding in 2.5 cups of water. I'll cover back the pot and allow to cook down for additional 15 minutes, this time on a medium heat. Okay guys, so the pot has been cooking for exactly 25 good minutes, I'm using lamb, and lamb does not take time to cook, unlike goat meat. So if you are using goat meat, please be sure to cook down this pot for at least good 40 minutes before introducing your next ingredients. So I just added in my pepper blend. At this point, I'll add in a little bit of water to rinse out my blender. So next goes in my palm oil. My blended crayfish and ehu seeds, my shrimp seasoning cube, next I'm adding my blended peanuts. I'll give it a gentle stir and allow it to cook down for 10 minutes. At this point, I'll give this a stir, and I'll be taking the lamb out of the pot because I don't want to overcook them. I'll be transferring them back later. Now, if you are using goat meat, just ignore the step. I'm doing this because I don't want to overcook this meat. My kitchen at this point smells so amazing, guys. Like, you can't imagine the aroma in here. So once that is done, at this point I'm adding in my smoked mackerel fish. Next, I'll be adding in my okpehe, the one I mentioned earlier while I was introducing the ingredient that I forgot to blend with my crayfish and ehu seeds. So I'm going to add that, and I'll cover the pot and allow it to cook down for at least 10 minutes on a low heat, or until I see the oil begins to float on top. So here is the lamb I took out from the pot, which I'll be adding back later, and as you can see, the bone is beginning to fall off the flesh. So this is a perfect indication that my meat is fully cooked and I don't want to overcook them. Okay guys, so the oil has floated on top, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. So this shows that the soup is ready. What I'm going to do at this point is to add back my meat. I'll give it a stir and test for salt, and if it is okay, then I'll go ahead and add in my bitter leaf. African taste. Okay guys, so my seasoning is perfect. I don't need to add more seasoning. At this point, I'm going to add in my bitter leaf. I'll give it a stir, cover and allow it to cook down for additional 3 to 4 minutes, and our peanut soup is ready. Alright guys, so finally our peanut soup is ready and it smells so amazing in here. Like, I can't explain the aroma going on in here, guys. This smells so amazing. You can have the soup with any swallow, like any swallow at all of your choice. Remember, this is peanut soup, not stew. Alright guys, so here is the end result. I hope you all will give this recipe a try. Like, this tasted super delicious. I want you all to give this recipe a try, guys. And if you like the video, please be sure to click the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you are not already. I want to say a big thank you to you all for watching. Stay safe and I will see you all in my next one. Bye for now.